Hey guys, it's me, Blablab again. I finally accepted that I'm not gonna keep a good upload schedule. That's for bums. That's for people who do this stuff for a job. So don't expect to upload in any consistent schedule. Maybe like once a month. A good once a month is a pretty solid time. Anyways, all right, that's it. Bye bye. Last video was a mess, so forget about it. Anyways, I just want to talk about some things I've noticed throughout these past few weeks. I'm going to start off today with how people present themselves, especially to other people and their friends in particular. When people start off their life, they always try to appeal to others so they can get relationships going, so they can feel a part of something and feel like they mean something. Everyone does it. Everyone tries to appeal to some audience. No matter if you have like friends that are in basketball, friends who don't do anything and bed rot all day, you appeal to some target demographic. It seems like whenever you try to do this, you put on a facade, you put on a face or a mask, and you gotta keep that mask because that's how you appeal to the people that you want to reach. I've also had this happen to me as well. I put on a mask for my friends as I want to be presented in a way that looks good, especially for them. I want them to see me as somebody who is, funny, nice, cool, hopefully, and I put on a mask just so I can present myself in a way to keep them there. But as I've come to notice, this mask that people keep, it's very hard to keep up, in my opinion. Unless you are so used to having that mask up, it becomes just kind of a part of you and you start adopting the features that you want. That is one result of keeping all of these masks on yourself all the time, is that you start adopting these features. But these past few days, I've kind of noticed like my own mask kind of crack in a way. I've kind of become so disenergized, is that the word? Desensitized. Oh my god. Nice, that's the word I was looking for, guys. As everyone keeps these masks up and try to appeal to their own people, it seems that you have two results that can happen to you. Either A, you kind of start adopting the features that you want. You start getting these attributes that, you've been trying to appeal to. These can be things as being perceived as really energetic or seeming very funny, because with effort you can do anything. But the other option is that the mask kind of cracks a little bit and it kind of becomes harder to keep that mask up. The more I've been seeing it, the more I've been realizing it gets to a point where you just can't keep that mask up anymore. This is happening with me as well, because I've been trying to stay funny, cool, hopefully cool, but a person who just appeals to my friends. And it's kind of hard keeping that up, because I'm a pretty gloomy dude when I'm alone. I don't really do much when I'm alone. Keeping that mask up takes a lot of effort, and the more and more that I work on it, it's getting to a point where like I can't keep the act up much longer, but I'm still holding through because I like my friends. I don't want to lose them. If I just show my gloomy side, I don't want to hang out every single day, I'll start pushing them away, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to push people away, but I don't want to bring people to me as well. I want to stay very neutral, and I want to stay at a point to where I don't have to do anything at all. So I don't know what to do. At one hand, I can keep going with it, and eventually it'll get to a point where I just can't keep it up, and one day I might just not even respond anymore to people. Or I can just like start slowly implementing how I feel. Maybe not hang out as much, and it's kind of hard to think about because I haven't been able to really adopt some of the things I've been trying to work towards. As I said, I try to seem cool in some sort whenever I'm with friends, but I never feel like I'm cool enough. I never feel like I'm adopting those attributes that I want just yet. I'm at a state right now to where I don't know what to do just yet. I'm at a state to where it's like either A, I can just do whatever I want, and it won't be the same again. Nothing will be the same if I do whatever I want, because then I'm not the person I originally was. I'll be doing stuff that, might not be productive at all, but it'll be stuff. Granted, it won't be showing off the attributes that I want to show off, like being cool. Because, to be honest, all I want to do all day is just play Valorant and, like, I don't know, doom scroll. But I can also, just keep going at it and, try my hardest. And it kind of sucks because I really don't know what to do. Seems like every time I'm on this channel, it's just like the same three subjects. It's either change, affection, or fear. I think right now I'm feeling fear, As I grew up, I've had basic fears, I've had fears of, monsters, the boogeyman, and, the darkness. And, as I've gotten older, fear hasn't really been the same as it originally was. My concept of fear and the things that I actually fear now are more vague, more like complex to think about, like death, the unknown. That kind of relates to the darkness in a way, but I have a further understanding of the darkness now. Now I know why I'm afraid of it, and I'm also just afraid of change. I'm afraid of having things be different than what they originally were. Change really is one of the biggest fears the human body has. Because when you're used to something, it feels good. You get the same dopamine effect every single time whenever you do something you like. Now that my fears become more complex, it's scary to think about, because when I was younger, I had answers to my fear. I had fears that I could really solve. But now the fear of death, the fear of just the unknown and what could happen, and the fear of change, those don't have definitive answers that I can really answer right now. They have a sense of mystery, of ambiguity. How do you say that word? Ambiguity.
The word is actually ambiguity, and I didn't even say it correctly when I was trying to figure it out. So,
Ambiguity.
yeah, that's weird.
Ambiguity. Since all my fears really have no answer to them, I'm pretty sure. No, I'm definitely sure that's why I'm afraid of them. The answer can always be bad. I don't really care if the answer can be good or not, because what happens if it becomes bad? This mindset is pretty proactive, but it's very pragmatic in the same way, to where like you're a very logical thinker. But even just the chance of having something bad happen is just an instant no. This should be the case for gambling, but people still do it because there's always a chance of that big win that everyone wants. And I kind of admire people who gamble, not in the sense like, hey, I can also make big money if I start gambling. No, it's the fact that they actively go out and do something. There's a saying that goes, it's always better to stay up late and do something you want to do than sleep in and dream of it. That saying, really hits me hard, because right now I'm procrastinating on homework. And I don't really care about homework. I can always do it later. But if I keep doing this and I keep pushing it back, eventually it's going to bite me in the butt. And I'm going to be like, damn, I should have done it on January 21st. Do I just go out and do something? Because there's always a chance of something bad happening. Like, hey, if I do homework, I won't have a fun time. I'll be just in my room doing homework, and no one wants to do that unless you're a nerd or something. This mindset, I'm trying to decide whether it's a good thing to have or a bad thing to have. Because, if I never ask out a girl, I'll never be rejected. I'll never have to feel that thing. But I'll never have the ability of, dating a girl. I'll never have the ability of learning off my mistakes. That's very important to think about. Because I'm afraid of change and I'm afraid of the unknown, on what could happen if I do something not necessarily wrong, but something that could be harmful to me, the decision to just drop my mask and stop acting like a person is a hard decision in general, because I like who I am right now. I like holding up the mask, but I just can't hold it in. I really can't just keep acting this way, because, a play can only go on for so long before people start getting bored of it. I'm afraid of what could happen, because there's a good chance no one will like me. There's a good chance that people will just look at me and go like, ew, him? It's like, it's a hard decision, it really is. And I'm not willing to just go out and do something, as I'm so pragmatic and scared of everything. I don't want the hoi polloi to be like, look at that bum. Doom scrolling all day, playing Valorant, and I don't know, gooning. Alrighty guys, well that's about it. That's all I had to say. I just want to talk about, my experience with keeping up an act. So anyways, Blablub out.